Start with the safe harbor and then the organizer part. Yeah,
Yeah.
come.
Hi everyone, welcome to Indy meetup, and I've started the recording, and I'll ask Vikas to start, and we can go proceed from there.
Sure. So it's a safe harbor statement. So both the speaker and the host, like we are organizing this meetup in individual capacity only. So we are not representing our companies here. So this presentation is strictly for learning purposes only. So organizer and the presenter, we don't hold any responsibility that the same solution will work for your business requirements as well. Okay. So this presentation is not meant for any promotional activities as well. Yeah, Krum.
Yeah, to introduce myself, I'm Ikram Mohammed, and I have almost 16 plus years of experience in IT and 10 years of experience in integration space. And for the past 2 years, I've been working with Salesforce as an integration lead. And I am a Mulesoft Indy leader, and myself and Amaya as well are in and people can reach me out. I'll just share my email ID at the very end. So if you want anything, you can just share it. Yeah,
Thank you, Krum.
thanks.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Ameya Parab, and I have around 4 years of experience with Mulesoft. So I started my career with Mulesoft, and AP Server was the last company I worked with. And since last year, I decided to take a career break, and currently I'm pursuing a graduate degree at Indiana University. So yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find me by this name, right?
Okay, thank you, Amya. So I'm Vikas, and I'm working as a senior integration consultant at Infosys. So I have around 12 years experience in integration domain. So I have worked on multiple product suites like IBM's Sterling Integrator, TIPCO, and currently I'm working in Mulesoft. Okay. So this is my like I've started the I love to share my knowledge. So I started my Your Integration Buddy page on LinkedIn where I keep on regularly posting the questions related to MuleSoft, and I have started my own YouTube channel also, which is Your Integration Buddy, where I usually post about the videos about the MuleSoft and this meetup related stuff. Okay, so if you get some time, do check this out. So, yep, coming on to today's agenda. Okay, so today we will be learning about what is universal API management, or what is the purpose of universal API management, and what are its different components like the API catalog, CLI, API governance, and endpoint flex gateway. So problem statement. Okay, so first let's understand like what is the problem that we are trying to address using the universal API management. Okay, so many of you might be aware that last year like Mulesoft came up with this universal API management launch. Okay, so what is the problem that we are Mulesoft is trying to address? Let's understand that. So as you know that like most with the API-led connectivity being followed everywhere, like so every business, every organization is taking advantage of the API-led connectivity, and most of solutions are built using the API-led connectivity only. So this has led to the spreading of the APIs basically. Okay, so definitely like it is having its own pros. So that's why like more and more businesses are following the API-led connectivity, but it has some downsides also, correct? So with the increased number of APIs, like there is a limited visibility and access to the existing APIs. Okay, there is like suppose we use different vendors provided different platforms. Okay, to develop these APIs, right, and different architectures to develop like this. Some are developed using the microservices, or some are event driven. So there is like we keep on developing these APIs, but over the time, like we get only limited visibility of these APIs and access to these APIs. Okay, as per a recent surveys, like only 60 to 70% of the APIs in organization are like fully used. Okay, this is one problem. And second is that like an organization we have different teams, like they are like using their own enforcement of security and governance rules of the APIs. There is no consistency in the enforcement of security and governance rules across the APIs. Okay, then thirdly, since every team is working in silo with their own rules and of security and governance, and then there is a slowed pace of change, and we are following the best practice, but those are in silos, those are not combined under one umbrella. Okay, suppose the APIs which are developed in one platform like in AWS or Azure, they are following different set of practices. Another one which is there in Azure is following different set of practices. Okay, so it's not like that the best practices are not followed, but they are quite of scattered. Okay, and we don't have any centrally managed thing like which we don't have any centrally managed management to manage all these APIs. Okay, and since like the API landscape is very much it's going on complex day by day, okay, with which more and more APIs coming up day after day, then it quite becomes quite difficult also to manage to troubleshoot if any of the issues come in these APIs. Okay, so these are quite for a few of the problems that that is we are trying to address using the universal API management. Okay, so what exactly is universal API management? Okay, so with the universal API management is like it's a collection of new and existing products of Mulesoft. Okay, so some of the existing products have been enhanced, and some of the newly products have been introduced in universal API management. So with universal API management, you can have a single place, single umbrella to discover, govern, deploy, manage, secure, and engage with your APIs. Okay, so basically it's a single control plane, okay, which will provide you a flexible management and consistent governance of all the APIs. So okay, so you see wherever these are deployed, whether in Azure, AWS cloud, anywhere, any architecture they're following, like the microservice architecture, any architecture they're following, that you can govern, deploy, and manage and secure these APIs using the universal API management. Okay, so basically it's the next evolution of API management. Okay, so if you can it opens a scope of full lifecycle management capability to APIs that are built and deployed anywhere. So it doesn't matter whether where those APIs are built and deployed. You can manage the complete lifecycle of the APIs through the universal API management. Okay, and then, as I mentioned, like with universal API management, the organizations will be able to work with APIs of any origin. Okay, so it doesn't matter which architecture, which environment. Some are deployed in microservices, some are deployed like in the VMs, whatever architecture they follow. Like and it will be able to we will be able to work with them in using the universal API management. Okay, so purpose of universal API management. So as I told you, like some of the existing products have been enhanced and some of the newly products have been launched under the universal API management by Mulesoft. So like API Design Center has been enhanced to support the GraphQL and the async APIs. Okay, then Anypoint CLI we have come up with the Anypoint Catalog CLI. The purpose of which is to have the wherever we have the APIs, and we can then discover and catalog into the Anypoint exchange. Okay, so I'll show you a demo after this Anypoint catalog CLI. Then Mulesoft has introduced the Flex Gateway also to secure and govern the API's modern architecture and applications. Okay, so that is the Flex Gateway. So I'll come to that in our demonstration part. Then we have API governance. Okay, so we can apply the consistent security and governance rules to the APIs. Okay, using the API governance, so that all the APIs follow the consistent security and governance rules. Okay, and then we have API Community Manager and API Experience Hub. API Experience Hub also, I think, like recently Mulesoft launched it. So, but I have not read much about that API Experience Hub. Okay, so basically in this session we are going to like focus on three critical things which Mulesoft has newly launched as part of Universal API Management. First one will be the Anypoint Catalog CLI. Then it will be API Governance, and third one will be the Flex Gateway. So what is API Catalog CLI? So API Catalog CLI, with the help of API Catalog CLI, you'll be able to discover and catalog API definitions, documentation files, and associated data as a part of an automated process. Suppose you have an API which you want to API specifications. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you are using OAS or RAML. Okay, so you can just with the help of any API catalog CLI, you can catalog those APIs into Anypoint Exchange. So Anypoint Exchange will be acting as a single source of truth for all the APIs. Okay, so with the help of API catalog CLI, we can publish the assets into the our API AnyPoint exchange, and we can automate also the publication of these assets into using the CI/CD pipelines. Okay, because it's really difficult, right? Whenever we get a new API specification, it's not easy to go there and load it manually. So you can automate the process of cataloging these APIs into AnyPoint exchange using CI/CD pipelines as well. And these are like the process of loading these cataloging these APIs into endpoint exchange. It's agnostic of CI/CD tools and runtime environments. You can use any CI/CD tools of your preference to automate the cataloging of the APIs into endpoint exchange. Okay, so let's do some hands-on now. What are the these are the options to catalog the APIs. First one is to catalog APIs locally from your computer, which I'll be showing in this demo. And second one is the automated way. It's just like that. The first process is quite manual step. We'll be doing executing those commands manually, but in the second step, we can automate those all those steps using our CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so those can be used to auto publish the APIs into any point exchange. Okay. Yeah, let's move forward and I'll demonstrate you how we'll be using the API catalog CLI. If we have any questions, we can take those up.
So for nothing. So basically, because so when you say universal API management, right, that comprises of all the things that you showed in the previous slide, like Flex Gateway, API governance, and everything, right?
That
It's
is
not a
correct.
separate
Yes.
product as Flex Gateway. Also, it's combination of all these things.
Yes, yes, yes. So all these products come under this umbrella. Some of the existing products have been enhanced, and these Flex Gateway, API governance, any point catalog CLI, these have been like newly introduced. Yeah.
Okay. So Anypoint CLI was already there, but you mean it's the catalog
Yep.
CLI, right?
Catalog CLI. Yes. Catalog CLI is a new one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So how do we set up the catalog CLI? So to make it easier to understand, so I have prepared this documentation so I can ping all the steps in the chat also, so that everybody knows about this. How do we do that? So there are some prerequisites before setting up the API catalog CLI. So we have to first have to have the Node.js and npm installed on our system. So to save some time, I already installed them, but obviously you can go to this nodejs.org and download page and download these versions, or download Node.js and npm. After that, you just need to install the latest version of API catalog CLI. So this is the command which will be used to download that, and this is the command which will be used to see the what API catalog version we are using. Okay. So basically, let me just show you the versions of Node.js and npm I'm using. So I just use this command. I just open the command prompt. I'll just copy this here. I'm using 18.16 version for, and this is the npm version. I can 9.5.1, and this is the command to install that catalog API catalog CLI. So I've already done that. We can just verify with this command which, that the API catalog CLI is installed or not. So just use this command. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is ALA version 1.1.0. Okay, so these are the prerequisites that we need to have Node.js and npm to have the API catalog installed. Okay, so now how do we like we have the API specs with us, right? We want to catalog them into the AnyPoint exchange, correct? So how do we do that? So we for that we have to create a descriptor file. Okay, so I'll just show you. So I have these two API specs with me. Okay, so both are developed using the OAS, not the REML. Okay, so this is a version we are now open API version 3.0.0 I'm using. And then I'm using this version 2.0.5 for this pet store, and for shipping I'm using the version 4. Okay, so let's try to generate the descriptor file. Okay, so descriptor file, and see what it will contain. Okay, so this is the command that we will use to create a descriptor file. Just, yep, here it is. Okay, so let me just go there. Let me just open the command prompt from here. Okay, fine. So you see that we have created this descriptor file. So what will be having this, it will be having this information which it has fetched from our the API specifications. Okay, the main, this is a folder structure, asset ID, the name of the API version, main asset ID version. So this, all these things have been taken from our API specifications. Okay, so now we got this descriptor file generated. Let us try to publish our API specifications to any to our AnyPoint exchange. Okay, before we do that, you have to make sure that we have the API contributor permissions enabled in access management. If I go to access management, okay, so you see the permission is I've already assigned a position API catalog contributor to me. So this permission is necessary so that I can publish these API specs into AnyPoint exchange. Okay, so now how do we publish these API specs into AnyPoint exchange? We have different methods to do that. We can use the AnyPoint platform username and password, which we use to log into AnyPoint platform. We can use the client ID secret as well, and we can use a bearer token as well. Okay, so to generate a bearer token, we can make use of the AnyPoint platform API. So this is the link to do that. So here I'll be just be following a simple method of username and password, the first one. Okay,
Because
so
just sorry
this
to
is a,
interrupt, just one thing. Now you're showing me this catalog, right? So here you
yep,
have pesto.yml and shipping API. That specs you are already created and kept it in that folder. That's how when you give this command, it
correct.
picks it up. Okay.
Yes, those are already there. Here they are now.
Okay.
Yep.
So that has all the API specs like RAML kind of a
Yep.
thing. Even you can have
Yes,
RAML
it's a
there.
yes, we can have RAML here. Yes, RAML as well
Okay.
as open API specifications. Since
Okay.
RAML is already supported by Mulesoft now, so
Mm.
that's why I just
I'm
chose
just
this OS
hmm
so that we can see that this is also supported.
okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay, so this is I will have the command with me to publish the asset. Just 1 second. Here it is. So API catalog, publish asset, username. This is the username and this is the password I have kept, and this is the organization ID. So from where I have taken the organization ID, I think everybody should be aware of that. So I'll just go to Anypoint platform. This is the organization ID starting with 1B. So that I have kept over here. Host is anypoint.mulesoft.com. Yeah, so let us see if we're able to publish. In the meantime, if we have any question, we can take that up. Okay, so one is published. Okay, let us see the next one. Swagger Backstore updated 33 seconds ago. Okay, fine. And the shipping API, you see that both have come over here. The shipping API, I think, is still getting published. Yep. I think I was because before I published that, I published this before as well. So just let me just make some changes over here. Okay, let me just make this version at 2.0.7, and let me uh, just meet up. Let me just change something over here so that the changes get picked up. Okay, so version, and I'm just version 5. Okay, shipping title API. I just see meetup. Okay, so now let me just generate that catalog descriptor file again, and then I'll just try to push these again because I was already having those API in my exchange. So let me just try with the different names. Okay, so I'll just create the descriptor file again, and then we'll try pushing these again so that you clearly see that okay, these are the new ones which we have created. Okay, just move this file from here. Fine. So now this is a new descriptor file that has been generated. You will see that it is having the hyphen meetup which I appended it over there. So that is come into asset ID, and the version I have already updated to 2.0.7 version 5. Okay, so this is the same thing which I have mentioned here, title version. Okay, so see over here, title version. So now we have the new catalog.yaml file. So let's try to publish it. In the meantime, I can ping these steps in the chat window also. Okay, so that people can refer them. Okay, and okay, so as I told you, right, there are two ways which we can publish these API specs into exchange. One is the manual process, which I am currently doing that, but everybody wants the things to be automated, right? So that is where the CI/CD pipelines come into picture. Okay, so CI/CD pipelines, what they can do that. Okay, whenever there are some changes into the API specs, suppose any version changes, or whenever their new APIs get added, this descriptor file will get auto generated, and it will be automatically pushed to any point exchange. Okay, so how to set up that CI/CD pipeline for that? So here is a tutorial which I have got, and like to share with you guys as well. You can follow this tutorial. I'll just copy these steps. Okay, I'll just paste it in the chat window as well. Okay, okay, fine then. Successfully cataloged two APIs. Shipping API meetup, Swagger meetup. So both are there. Okay, you can see that these have been published over here. Okay, and latest version is 5 stable. Okay, and then there is a Swagger also. Okay, so you see the endpoints have also come over here. So it is not only the rambles which we can publish with the open API specifications as well. You see everything which was there, same thing it has come over here. Okay, so this is how we can publish the assets into the using the endpoint catalog CLI. Okay, so one more thing we can try. Okay, we can try with our we can try adding the tags. Okay, and the contact emails also. So let me just try with that also. So what I would do, I will just add this contact and tags here in the descriptor file. Okay, so I'll just okay, so here it is. Okay, So I'll just added these tags and contact, and when I will try to push it again, so these contacts and tags should appear in the anypoint exchange. Okay, so the shipping API just shipping, I'll just change it to shipping. Okay, Sappy, I'll just make it to Pappy, Pack. Contact that it remain my name. Okay, so I have made a change to descriptor.yaml, but the thing is that to deploy to publish the asset into the exchange, we need to make some changes in our API specs also, so that the changes get picked uh, okay when we try to publish them. Okay, so let me just change the version to 2.0.8, and here I'll just change the version to 6. Okay, okay, fine. So we can just update our descriptor file. Okay, you see the following APIs were updated. So if I go to my descriptor file and reload it, you will see that the changes have come over here. The version which I changed 2.0.8 has come over here, and version 6 has come over here. Along with that, I added tags and contacts, so those remain the same. So now what you will see in the exchange, you will see the new versions getting created as along with the tags and contact. So let's try to now publish them. If anybody having any question, we can take that up.
So basically, you'll have only one descriptor file for all the APIs that you.
That is correct. Yes, one descriptor file, and it will be having all the information. It's basically like a kind of metadata, basically.
Mhm.
Yep. So with the help of that, we can publish it. Correct. Okay. So it's okay. One is published. So shipping API. No, sorry. Swagger one got published. Swagger, but store meetup.
There's one question by Shravan. May I know what is the version strategy inside descriptor file?
Version strategy, like inside it. Okay, this is a version that we have that has come up from that API specifications only. The versions which I have been showing you here, 2.0 and 6.0.0. I can show you over here. So this is a kind of the descriptor file is kind of metadata, right? So it has taken some of the information from the our API specs 2.0.8, and this is the version 6. So this is how the versions have come over there. Okay, so these have been cataloged. Just refresh this page. You see over here, now the version is 6. Okay, same version which I pushed, 6 version. Okay, and you see that now tags have also come, shipping Sappy, as well as the contact number, contact email is also come, Vikas Sharma, my email. Okay, so same thing for shipping API as well. Okay, I think I showed the shipping one. Let me just show the other one, Swagger one. Swagger one, same version, 2.0.8, 2.0.8, and we have got the tags also, pet store, Pappy, and my name as contact and contact, and we have the endpoints as well. We can go ahead and test using the mocking service. We can test them out as well. Okay, so that's pretty much about the Anypoint API catalog CLI. If any questions, you can we can take them up. So I think no questions as of now. So let's move forward then, Ikram. Okay, Ikram, I am let's move forward then. Correct.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. If you see any questions, just let me know.
Yeah,
Okay.
by default, would all the APIs be published as stable? So that's what Shravan is asking on the chat.
Yes, so this is a version which we can see that stable is here. Yes, stable development deprecated, but I think somehow, I think that's a default default setting that it will take. But I think there will be something to which we can put in the descriptor file to make sure that to control this state. Okay, so but I'm not aware of that exactly what that will be, but I feel that there should be some kind of indicator should be there to manage the state also. Okay, so let's move forward with the API governance. So basically, what's happening today, right? So in an organization where every team writes their rules in an ad hoc manner, correct, with different standards in mind. So they might put up some security policies or governance policies or HTTPS enforcement policies on some certain APIs. Okay, and but they may not be putting those on the other APIs. Okay, so it's it really gets challenging, right, to review this all this to review and make sure that the every API is conformant to the governance rules, okay, that we have enforced. So that's the kind of challenges we are facing today, right? So we have rules. It's not like that. Like teams are not putting their not putting the security or the governance policies, but they may not be consistent across the organization. Okay, so mainly like we check the compliance by manual validation by each team or there's a central body to make sure that okay all these policies are applied on the APIs. Okay, so that's a quite a time consuming process, and there are high chances of manual errors as well. Okay, so what's the solution to that? So the solution to that is the API governance. So that's a new set of tools, that a new product that is introduced by Mulesoft. So here, what they have done, they have like you have like a built-in like a pre-built set of best industry standard practices at your disposal. You just go ahead, select those, and apply to this policy to APIs, and that's it. Okay, so you don't have to like select each and every policy and then apply to your APIs. You just select all those standards which you want to apply, and you are done. And even like if you want to have your own different rules set different rules you want to create, you can do the custom rules as well. So here it is like so why do we need API governance? To operationalize API governance, to comply with the industry regulations and internal standards without friction, to improve the API conformance continuously. Okay, so suppose like so if the API is not conformant, then we will get an automated email from Mulesoft saying that okay, so now the new version of API which you have published, it's not conformant to the security or the governance rules that we have applied. Okay, and then since developers will not have to focus much on this security and the governance, because we will be having the pre-built tools at their disposal, so they will be having more time to contribute the development works. Okay, so let's have a demo of this API governance also. Okay, so what I will do here, I'll just go to API governance. So API governance, we start creating a profile. So I profile. So suppose I want to enforce a HTTPS enforcement policies. Okay, I just give a profile name as enforcement HTTPS or perform enforcement. Click next. So these are the set of rules that I was talking about. See, so MuleSoft has come up with 30 best practices of APIs, and there are 21 set for async APIs, 14 security APIs, best practice security APIs, data graph assets, so OWASP API security. Okay, so recently we worked for a client where he demanded like the OWASP API security policy should be applicable to API. So there it came as handy, and we can just tick mark this and just make sure that our API is conformant to all the OWASP API security standards. Then there is open API best practices. We have if we want to make sure that all the API specs will have the required examples, we can tick mark. We can use required examples here. Okay, so in our case I want to make sure that we use the HTTPS in API, so I'll just be going ahead with the HTTPS enforcement policy. Okay, so I'll just click on next. So what are the APIs which I want to have the API governance rules applied? It's a REST API. Suppose your any tags. Okay, Suppose, or if I suppose you remember the tags I created, no? So if I select only the tags which are having SAPI only, then in that case, I have come up with this one: shipping API meetup, shipping API, and Swagger Pet Store. Okay, so let's remove the tags for now. Okay, so let's have it any tag, and now you'll see that here we have all these APIs over here. Shipping API meetup, a shipping API which I've already it was there earlier also. So let's apply these HTTPS policies to each of these.
And here, whatever the API that are listed, those are all the API that we are not built using MuleSoft, right? So anything that,
Correct.
okay,
That was built using OAS and some other
yeah,
tool.
okay.
Okay. So if we go next, okay, so suppose that our if someone uploads a new version of the API which is not suppose like okay, if I do this and apply these rules, so for now these are conformant, okay, but somehow tomorrow somebody uploads a new version of the API but that is not conformant to these rules. In that case, Mulesoft will send up this uh, the automated email and with saying that the API has become non-conformant. So I have marked both the API publisher, who is the published exchange, as well as the API contact. You need remember, like my email was here, er.vikas@outlook.com to receive those emails. Okay, so let's click next. HTTPS enforcement. Fine, let's create that. Okay. So let's give it a few seconds. So you see that here is one profile. Okay, it's governance status. You see that all the four governance status of four APIs which we had. Then there are these are the API versions, four API versions. He's saying that one is conformed, all four are conformant as of now, and there is no severity. Okay, so severity, you mean that high severity means that 0 to 40% of the rule sets are passed. Medium severity means that 41 to 80% of the rule sets are passed by that API, and low severity means that 81 to 99% of rules are passed. Okay, so as of now, all our four APIs are conformant, no issues, all good, all happy. Okay, let's do one thing now. I go to any point exchange. Okay, I'll go to shipping API meetup. Okay, what I will do that I'll update a new version of this. Okay, I'm going to my shipping API.yaml. Okay, I'll go with the version 7. Okay, and in my URL, I'm changing from HTTPS to HTTP. Okay, that's only change I have done. So I'll just be adding that version over here. I'll be uploading an OAS. I think it's the shipping one, correct? Okay, so version is 7.0.0. Version 6, 7. Okay, so here we have that option, lifestyle, state, stable, low development. So but I think there should be something in the descriptor file also that we need to explore, but here we getting that option whether we want to have that the lifestyle state as stable or development. Okay, so I'll go ahead and publish it. Okay, fine. So let's go ahead go to our API governance and see if something has changed. See, it has changed. So one API has become non-conformant. One API has become non-conformant and it is a high severity. So it is not passing this 0 to 40% of the rule sets. Okay, so you see there the total number of APIs once is nearing the subscription limit of 5 APIs. That is fine. That is like limit of this 5 here in the trial count. So you see now like that if I change from HTTPS to HTTP, so one of the APIs has become non-conformant. We should be expecting an email also So I think sometimes it takes a couple of minutes for that email to arrive, that automated email, which will say that okay, your API has become non-conformant. Take an action on this. Okay, and if I go again and upload a new version with HTTPS, and then this will be all compliant then. Okay, so this is a way yet that you can just apply this whatever rule sets are needed for your APIs with the help of this API governance. You can apply the uh, consistent rule sets across your APIs. Okay, I think the mail has also come. Yep, here it is. Hello, you are receiving this alert because some of your APIs failed one or more governance rules that need immediate attention. This is the API name. HTTPS enforcement, it has failed. Okay, this is the kind of email you will get. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover regarding the API governance. So let me know if any questions before we move to the last part of this session, which is the uh, Flex Gateway.
So in case if there is non-compliant, like now you made HTTPS to HTTP and it showed up here, right? So from here we cannot go and edit it. We need to go still there and update the YAML, and that's how we need to do, right?
Yes, in the Anypoint Exchange we can do that, but here I think we don't have any
Yeah.
option to go to that API, or let me see if
Mm-hmm.
we have export the report open exchange. Here it is, open in exchange.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we can explore that
And
also.
we don't apply the policies like how we apply for a Mulesoft API. Those things we doesn't do. We don't do in API governance.
Correct. APEC governance is basically providing you different industry best standards. Basically,
Okay.
it's not
Okay.
an alternate to the like the policies
API
which we do.
management.
They like the
Mm-hmm.
rate limit. Yep, that like the rate limiting policies, basic authorization policy, basic. So that is it's not an alternative to that. It is just like the industry best standards, like the
Okay.
OWASP policies, right? So many of the like the data sensitive
Mm-hmm.
things, right? So that need to be applied to that. So those kind of things, HTTPS informant, it's a good practice, right? We should not use HTTP, correct? In our API space, we
Mm-hmm.
should be
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
always be HTTPS. So it provides you standard industry practice rules, industry best industry standard rule sets, which you can apply to your APIs basically. But it's not an alternative to our the policies which we apply using the API manager. Okay. So if there are no questions, we can move forward to the last topic of the day, which is Flex Gateway. So Anypoint Flex Gateway. So I think all of you might be aware of this. Like Mulesoft has already have already having the gateway embedded within the runtime to secure and manage the APIs. Okay, but this Anypoint Flex Gateway is like out of the box provided by Mulesoft to secure or manage or govern the APIs which are deployed anywhere. Like suppose that an API deployed in AWS or an Azure, we can apply the policies, we can secure it using the Anypoint Flex Gateway from Mulesoft. Okay, so it is ultra fast, designed to manage and secure APIs running anywhere. Okay, built to integrate seamlessly with DevOps and CI/CD workflows. It delivers performance required for the most demanding applications, and while providing enterprise security and manageability across any environment. You see there, like we can discover, govern, manage, engage, everything we can do with any point flex gateway. The APIs are deployed somewhere else, and we can secure and manage them through any point flex gateway. Okay, when any architecture they may follow microservice architecture, async APIs, event driven APIs, any architecture they follow, they can be secured and governed through any point flex gateway. Okay, so there are two ways to set up the Flex Gateway. One is the local mode, and another is the connected mode. So local mode, like we have the local configuration file to manage this Flex Gateway, but we don't have the luxury to manage all these Flex Gateway policies using the API manager. So for that, we use the connected mode. So in the connected mode, we can the control plane is like endpoint is in the endpoint platform, so we can use the API manager to apply the policies and can control how the and control this flex gateway from there. So we have more control over this flex gateway within the connected mode rather than the local mode. Okay, and we can use different there are like We can use Docker containers or Linux service or Kubernetes ingress controller for setting up the Flex gateway. For in this demo, I'll be demonstrating how to set up the Flex gateway as a Linux service. Okay. So here is the process. So we review the Flex Gateway prerequisites, we install it, we register it, we start the Flex Gateway, we deploy the API and secure it and publish it to the Flex Gateway, and then we can add more replicas also. Okay, it's not like that only one instance of Flex Gateway can run. We can enable the load balancing and we can enable multiple replicas for Flex Gateway. So here is a comparison between the connected mode and the local mode. Okay, so here you see that the control plane for connected mode is in the endpoint platform, but in local mode it is a local configuration file that we maintain. Then we can apply the policies using the the API manager in the connected mode, but here in the local mode, the same way like I showed you for that endpoint catalog CLI, same thing we need to maintain the YAML descriptor files to apply the policies in the local mode. In the logging, so we can use anyone platform advanced logging in the titanium license and connected mode, but in local mode we can use the third party logging like ELK Splunk. Anypoint mode, and if you talk about the API monitoring, we can use anypoint monitoring or API manager metrics in connected mode, but in local mode we have to depend on the third party tools like Grafana or Prometheus. Then we can in the Flex gateway management, we can manage through the endpoint platform in the connected mode, but in local mode it is managed by the local YAML descriptor files, similar to what we saw in case of the endpoint catalog CLI. So yep, let's have a quick demo of the Flex gateway before we wrap up. Okay. So what we will do, we will be just be setting up this Flex gateway on as a Linux service. So what I have, what will do for that, I'll be logging into my AWS account. Okay, it's a free trial account. So what I will do that I'll spin up an EC2 instance with the Linux OS. Okay, so I'll just launch one instance, and on that instance we'll be setting up the Flex gateway. Okay, I'll just provide this name to this instance like Indy EC1. Okay, so Indy EC2 basically, let's say EC2, and here is uh, the OS which we don't want to select. We'll be going ahead with the Amazon Linux 2. That is what it is supported for Flex gateway. Okay, then scroll down, a bit of slowness is here. Instance type, let us take it what is coming as default as free tier eligible. Key pair login, so let us take the existing key pair to log into the EC2 instance. Okay, I have created earlier, so that I'm sticking to that key only, but you can always create a new key pair. Network settings, so let us allow all the HTTPS or HTTP settings traffic from internet. Okay, and let's go ahead and launch the instance. Okay, so if I go to the API to runtime manager, the Flex gateway, you have the option to add the Flex gateway as a Linux service. Here it is. So now, like it has like Mulesoft has rolled out, see, container, Kubernetes, OpenShift, CentOS, Red Hat Linux, everything you can do with the option of Linux. With the container, we have Docker Podman for Kubernetes. Before we get of the requirement and for this OpenShift also. So I think they're not providing that options. But yeah, for container and the Linux, we can stick to these images. So you see over here for Linux, we are sticking to here the Amazon Linux 2. Okay, so these are the steps you to install, register, and start the gateway. Okay, if you have only already copied these over here, so we'll be just be executing them as is. Okay, and let's set up this Flex gateway over EC2 instance. And so I think this should already be set up. Let me just see if it is up. Yep, so it has come up. Okay, so let me just it is a status of initializing, so let it be. Let me just have its public IP, and I'll just try to log in using putty to it. Okay, so we'll be using that master key with the key value pair, okay, which I generated at the time of setting up the EC2 instance to log into this EC2 instance. Okay, just accept it so that we can proceed. I'll log in with the default EC2 user. Okay, so we are in. Let me just refresh it to just make sure that it comes to the running state. Yep, now it is in the running state. Okay, so first step is to install the Flex Gateway. So this is the command used to install the Flex Gateway. Okay, just copy it. It's getting installed. Okay, so in the meantime, just I'll brief you. The next step is register the Flex Gateway. So for register the Flex Gateway, what we'll need to use, will we need to provide client ID, secret, environment ID, and organization ID. So what is this client ID and secret? So these we get from the connected app. Okay, so we'll be using the connected app authentication mechanism here. So we'll just go to the access management, and using the connected app we'll be logging into the our uh, will be registering this Flex Gateway. So if I go to the connected app, so I already have set up this connected app, so I'll just be copying this copy ID and secret. So those ID and secret will go over here. This is the ID and this is the secret. Okay, using the connected app. And then environments. This is the environment where I want to set up the Flex Gateway, that is the sandbox environment. So if I go to the API manager, okay, so sandbox environment here it is. If I go to environment information, this is the environment ID we need to provide. You see that A4C8, so this is the A4C8. This. And one more thing you need to remember that in the connected app, you need to have those permissions assigned. Okay, so that for registering the Flex Gateway. So in the connected app, if I go over here and go inside it, you see that this manage servers, read servers, and view organization. These are the three scopes we need to assign to this connected app so that we can register the Flex Gateway. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much. I think client ID, secret, environment, connected will be true since we're using a connected app. Organization is organization ID. From the income platform, we can take that. Output directory is a default directory provided by Mulesoft, and this is the name of the gateway. My gateway Indy demo. I have kept that. Okay, so just copy it. Go to my EC2 instance. Starting registration, please be patient. Error. So there is an error of permission denied. So this usually happens when the user which we are trying to run this command is not having the access to create this file. So what we will do, we'll just provide the sudo access to this user. Okay, so this is the command that we use to sudo change mode ch 777, so that we make sure that we have the access. So this command is executed, and now we'll try again to register the Flex Gateway. And now, okay, this is completed. So now we go to our runtime manager and check the Flex Gateway. Here it is, my gateway Indy demo. So currently disconnected and zero replicas because we have not started it yet. So let us use this command to start it. It should be started now. Let me just verify using this command where it is started or not. Yep, one loaded unit, so it means it started. Okay, yep, you see that one replicas is in the connected mode. Okay, this is the replica. So we have set up this Flex Gateway now. Just quickly deploy one API, and we can just access it and try accessing it. Okay, what I do, I'll just go to API manager. I will just go to add API. You see, we have now coming runtime flex gateway, the mule default gateway or service mesh. So we're going ahead with the flex gateway. Okay, so I'll just go here to my gateway Indy demo. Next, I'll be just be creating a new API, a simple API. Okay, just for the Indy demo. It should will be an HTTP API. Go next. Okay, HTTP protocol I'll use a port 80. I'll use a path like v1 API. Okay, and let's optional instance. That's fine. Let's move forward. What is our downstream URL? Because what is our implementation URL that we are trying to reach using the Flex gateway using the API proxy? So that is this one. http bin.org. So our API is running on this. API is deployed like with this implementation URL. So we'll be accessing it using the API proxy that I'm deploying it on the Flex gateway. Okay. So the underlying implementation URL is http bin.org. Okay. So I think yep, it's deployed. Here it is in the demo. Okay, so what I will do, where is my EC2 instance IP address? So here is the IP address I have. I'll just be using that, and then I'll just v1 API my this URI I took, and I'll just put the method here get, and just try to yep, we are able to reach our implementation URL using our the proxy API, which we deployed it on Flex Gateway. So the underlying is here. http.org. See here. Okay, the same response we are getting from here. So we have created a proxy and we are using that proxy to access our underlying implementation URL. Okay, using Flex Gateway. Okay, so what you can do that you can apply any policy as well. So let's apply a basic auth policy. Let's go to policies. Okay, we just add one policy. Okay, just basic authentication. Let's apply that. Okay, let it be Vikas Twitch demo only. Password I'll just put 12345. Okay, Vikas Twitch demo. So let us. So now we have secured our API as well. Okay, so let us try to access it now. See, demo 12345. See, now you're able to access it. So in this way, you see that the API was deployed somewhere else, and we are able to secure and manage it using our Flex Gateway. Okay. So yes, that's pretty much, guys, I wanted to cover in this session. If we have any questions, we can take that up.
So because when we publish through Anypoint catalog, right, CLI, those APIs can be pulled in Flex Gateway or no, right?
Yes,
We can pull that.
yes, we can do that. Yeah, we have the option now there. Yep,
Okay.
we can do once it's there in endpoint exchange. Yep, we can do that because we have the option, right? When we uh, create the APIs here, right? So if I show you, I'll just share my screen again.
Yeah.
So if I add the API Flex Gateway, I'll just Flex Gateway demo. Next, see, you see over here now, demo API or whatever APIs are there, and select from API from Exchange also.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Any other questions, guys, before we wrap up?
thanks, Vikas. Thanks for all the information. It was pretty much very informative for me, at least. I think so. It's the same for
Okay.
everyone else.
Sure, Ikram. Thank you for hosting me, and it was good to share my knowledge. Yep, and so we don't have any questions, and I think we can wrap up the
Yeah.
sessions. And
Hey, I
Thanks,
have a question.
Vikas.
I'm sorry. Um, I was trying to unmute myself. I wasn't able to. And please excuse the background noise. Is there a difference in deploying or configuring the Flex Gateway between a customer-hosted environment on their own infra rather than something on the cloud?
yes, so there, as I told, like there are two ways basically to configure the Flex Gateway. One is the local mode, okay, another one is the connected mode. So in the connected mode, everything is managed through the Anyone platform, which I just showed you, right? Through the API manager, we can apply the policies. But if you want the fully isolated environment, like you don't want to like the data to be going to metadata to be going to Anyone platform, in that case, you have to use the connect local mode, in which you will be having all the configurations in the YAML descriptor file. You'll be managing everything through that only. So there is a difference to the local mode. It's completely isolated. You won't be sending your data to any one platform, but it will be quite. We don't have the luxury there of having the API manager to apply the policies and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's a difference. Like the local mode and connected mode, you have to see. If you don't want the data or metadata to go to the any one platform, then definitely you have to proceed with the local mode only.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. How can we access to the recording? So I
I'll be
think yeah,
sharing the
Ikram,
link. Once
Ikram will be
I'll be
sharing
uploading
the
it
link.
and I'll share it. Yeah.
Yes, and I'll be uploading it to my channel also. So if you want to see, like just ping my channel also here, Integration Buddy, so you can check out like some more videos over there also in the previous meetups which we have spoken. Okay.
And guys, let us know your feedback as well and any interested topic that you might want in future. So maybe
Yep,
I'll
definitely we can plan that.
yeah.
But yeah, it was really good interacting with the audience here, Ikram, and thank you, Ikram, and thank you, Amia, and thank you everyone who took out the precious time to attend this session.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Yep.
So
Thanks,
if
Vikas.
no
Thanks,
more
everyone,
questions,
for
then
joining.
we can
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks,
bye.
Vikas. Thanks all.